kitty. Hi. How are you? I'm allergic to you, but I still like you. Hi, kitty. Oh. I gotta leave you now. Cutie. More friends.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I think you're watching this because I'm filming this for posterity's sake. And I'm just gonna vlog what I'm reading. This might be just like a what I read in a week type of a dealio. Because I'm currently filming for a video for, I don't know when it's gonna come out. It's reading The Lord of the Rings and all its entirety. And having a lot of fun. I'll save my thoughts for that video. But yeah, so this little pile right here, you can't even see it, is like the books that I've read this past month, and on it are of course, you know, The Two Towers, The Fellowship of the Ring, but I just wanted to like vlog, I guess, and anything cute or interesting I'll just like pop in for like b-roll or whatever. Because I want to challenge myself to do new things this year, and to just like push myself, I guess, and just not do my normal everyday habits. And so that's one of those things. So what did I do? I went to the bookstore yesterday. I was naughty, and I bought a lot of books. So you might see me read some of them in this video, you might not. And oh, I do have to say that this is an aside, and it's like a really cool thing for like booktube in general. The booktube community is so welcoming, I guess. I was searching for a better word because I'm also challenging myself to use better words in my everyday life. My vocabulary is suffering, but the booktube community is really welcoming, really nice, you know, unless there's some tea or some drama. But other than that, it's so lovely. And I'm saying that because I was featured, and not, I say featured, I had a little cameo, like a lot of other people, but I was in 2 booktube videos within the past 3 weeks. One was Sarah without an H. She included me in the booktubers' worst books of 2023, and then I was also featured in Katie Colson's booktube's best books of 2023. And those videos look like beasts to wrap your brain around, because I'm not great at editing, and I still know how much that goes into it. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing that they put, especially Katie's, and she had help from other booktube people as well, like getting that video out into the world. And she watched, I think she said she watched over 700 booktube videos. So like these people who like have bigger followings are really out for the little guy, and I like that. That's cute. Cause y'all, I got 450 some subscribers, which I love, and I can barely wrap my brain around getting 500. So I don't know what I was saying. I went off on a whole tangent. Basically, just thank you for putting me in your videos, and you didn't need to, and I'm glad I didn't look like roadkill in either one of those videos. So I'm gonna try to put some work into my appearance, because apparently it's not just me watching these videos, or my sister or my dad. So yeah, but what's happening now? Oh, I've been reading, so along with my read of The Lord of the Rings, I'm also currently reading Last Night in Montreal, so I think I'll probably include that book mainly in this video. And yeah, so I went for a walk today. You probably saw some B-roll with a cute kitty. It was so adorable. I don't have cats because I'm allergic. Also, I'm not a pet person. I'm more of a baby person, but you can't just buy a baby. So yeah, I think that's the intro. updated you guys on what I'm currently reading and how it's going. So I figured for a reading vlog that might be a good thing to do. So I am currently 72% of the way into the arc I have of Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice by El Cosimano. And in that clip you saw, I was so excited that I just got the email from NetGalley saying, "You've been approved," because I feel like I asked for the last one and I didn't get it. And so I was super stoked to get this one because it was on my most anticipated reads of 2024. And especially after the last book where it felt kind of like a novella with Finlay at the police academy and like her whole love triangle situation happening, I was excited to see what was going to happen in this book. And if you don't know what Finlay Donovan, the series is, it's about a divorced mother of two who is a romantic suspense, why does that phrase sounds so weird? Romantic suspense writer. I probably said that all sorts of weird with the emphasis on the wrong syllable. But she writes novels about crime and romance. And what does she do? She gets confused for a hit woman in a Panera one day and ends up in a very convoluted way basically being like one of the characters in her novel. And that basically just keeps on happening in books 1, 2, 3, and 4. And like I said, book 3 was okay, but it felt like a bridging novel between books 2 and 4, because book 2 I really didn't enjoy as much as the first one, because it was just so like action-packed and crazy, but still relatable, I guess you could say. But this book, number 4, is doing it for me. It starts off with a road trip, which I love a road trip novel, but it doesn't end up staying that way. We're basically just looking for a guy that Vero, her babysitter, wants to find. So we go on a trip to Atlantic City, and then somehow, some way or another, a lot of convoluted stuff happens in which her ex-husband and her mother and her sister, who's a police officer, and her boy toy all end up in the same place together, and the kids are there. So it's just chaos with like writer duties and mommy duties and trying to have a love life as this grown woman who also is a mom. So I'm enjoying it. It's very convoluted, like I've been saying, and I think it's just a funny thing that I keep on picking up books that are very meta, and like I'm looking specifically at Everyone on This Train is a Suspect, like it's right by where the camera is, and that book is very meta, and this one as well is very meta. So it talks a lot about the book and the character she writes, and there's parallels between her and the character. So I'm enjoying it. I don't know if other ARC readers are liking it, but I am, and it's the right amount of crazy for me, and it's a quick-paced book, so I'll probably finish it tonight. And yeah, I have to edit my Lord of the Rings video, so that's going to take some time. The book portion of it is about 40 minutes long, and I haven't even gotten to the portion where I will be watching the movies. I also don't own the movies, so I gotta go pick up the movies probably at like Target or something. Because, fun fact, I don't like the idea of owning things digitally. I think that's not a great idea. Like, I feel like they can just take it back whenever they want to, even if you paid for it. So I like the idea of owning things physically, which is why I kind of don't like the idea of owning ebooks, because at any point someone could just take it, wipe it off of your account, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna go buy those probably today or tomorrow, because this weekend I'm working, subbing for another teacher, but after I get finished teaching, I am going to have a Lord of the Rings marathon and hopefully get some reactions. I'm probably going to watch with my siblings. So that's basically what's happening right now. I am reading, like I said, Finlay number 4. I'm also reading, where is it? Last Night in Montreal. I'm not enjoying that one, and I'm really upset about it. But every month has to have some twos. I'm just gonna try and get through it, honestly, because after the high that was The Lord of the Rings, I feel like I can't go down to mediocre. No mediocrity. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go and read before I gotta go hit the road. I finished it. We came, we saw, we conquered, and was it really, as I said before, convoluted, gimmicky? Was there a weird love triangle still, even after 3 books? Yes. But did I also enjoy it? Yes, I did. It was just a nice ride. From the start with the road trip to just being in the setting that we were in, where there's just a bunch of like gambling and like interesting little diners and places to go. It was nice being out of the Virginia area that they have always been in. Mrs. Haggerty is not featured in this one, so if you were looking for Mrs. Haggerty, she's not there. And what's something I can say? I think I enjoyed Finlay more in this one. I still didn't like Vero, but I don't think I like her personality, so I don't think I'm ever gonna like Vero. And the problem was that we were on the road trip for Vero, so I didn't love that. But when we were with Finlay and her and Mr. Boy Toy, that was really fun. And just Finlay, like using her mommy superpowers. Sorry, there's a hair in my eye. Using her mommy superpowers at all costs was funny. And I always enjoy seeing Delia and Zach. And also having the added element of Steven, the ex-husband, being along for the ride as well. Also the mother. There were a lot of things I liked in this one. I liked our cast of characters that came along, because if it had just been Vero and Finlay and maybe the kids, I don't think I would have liked it as much. But as it stands, this was very interesting, very entertaining. It had some topical moments, such as imposter syndrome and complacency in marriage. And I just really liked it. I liked how it ended. There was a big bang, and I did get confused at certain points who had done what, who had committed what crimes, and who we were looking for, and who had murdered the bodies. Because I also forgot and kept forgetting that this is a mystery. So we're looking for who's killed these people. And when I figured that out again, when I figured out where we were, what story this was, it was a good time. And yeah, I loved all the gimmicks, and I really enjoyed the cliffhanger at the end, because you're like, how is this going to continue to be another book? How are we going to get another book out of this? And El Casamano, she figures it out. She's like, you thought I wasn't going to come back with a 5th book? And I did. And I'm here for it. I will be reading it. Hopefully it comes out next year. So, yeah. I finished this one. I posted my review for NetGalley so that hopefully they will give me more arcs, because I need the arcs. And now I am currently reading, you guessed it, Last Night in Montreal. And I'm actually really liking this one more, about 15 chapters in. And we are less with Eli, we're less with Eli, the clingy boyfriend, and more talking about Lilia and her father, and why she has to keep on leaving places and people. And we're also with the detective, whose name is Christopher, and he's very interesting, and he has some baggage of his own. And mostly, I just want to figure out, why did Lilia's father kidnap her? Why was she at 7 years old kidnapped? What was wrong with her mother? So that's what I want to know. So I'm reading this one currently, and I'm about to go teach, so I gotta go to WIC, and I'll probably read this in the meantime. But I'm also currently reading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I don't know why I picked this up, but I felt like it, and I enjoy the tone. It's just zany. That's the best word for this book, zany. I also have the audio from Libby, so I'm also currently reading or listening to that while reading, and it's a good time. it's a good time. I highly recommend. And so this is just about a guy who, his name is Arthur Dent, and in the beginning of this book, he is trying to keep his house from being demolished because the powers that be want to put a space bypass in to get quicker from point A to point B. And he doesn't want his home to be demolished, but he also has a friend named, what's his name, Ford Prefect, who seems like is a struggling actor, but really he's a researcher for the revised edition of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah, so Earth's gonna be demolished and we're gonna hitchhike across the galaxy. And I cannot wait because I've been in a sci-fi fantasy mood. So that's what's happening. I don't know if we'll finish these before the end of the week, but if the vlog keeps going, the vlog keeps going. Officially saved this book for me. It was going absolutely nowhere and I was getting upset, but we just had the kind of life story of a family told and all of its inner workings and its tragic ending, and the fact that Lilia is involved in this in some obscure way, and one of the characters in it just told her story and why she is the way she is, and it really just sold me on this because I'd seen reviews saying that it was slow to start, but then when it gets going, it's like, ooh. So I'm getting that now, and the only issue I have now is that we're back with Eli in part 3, and I just don't like Eli. He's just so whiny, mopey, sad boy. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, which, like, who does? Who does, Eli? But yeah, he's chasing his manic pixie dream girl, and maybe he'll find her. And now he's in Montreal now. Yes, he's in Montreal, where they are a little cold towards non-French speakers. So yeah, I'll continue reading and I'll update if I finish it. I'm about 125 pages in, and yeah, I got a lot of it read while I was just on a drive with my dad, and yeah, we'll keep going. finished last night in Montreal, and I realized that I never actually said what this is about in this video. I've talked about it in maybe one other video on my channel, but this is about Lilia Albert, who was abducted by her father when she was a child from her mother, and because of that, they've been on the run all of her life, and so when she becomes an adult, she just so happens to not be able to stop running away. So she goes to many cities, many places, and meets a lot of paramours in these places, and she continues to love them and leave them. And when she meets Eli, he doesn't want to let her go, and so he chases her to find her. And so the book is about them. It's also about the detective that was hired to find her. And like I said, I just finished this one, and it was not captivating me at first because it just seemed like a very their novel where it's about, you know, this manic pixie dream girl and this guy who thinks he can fix her and change her, and him just searching for her. But it is not that. It is not Paper Towns by John Green. It really hit me hard towards the middle. We get another perspective of a different character who is entangled in Lilia's plot line against her will, and her plot line is very sad. And Eli, I don't like his character still, but he serves his purpose, but in the end he just doesn't seem to be necessary to me, to the plot. I mean, I guess he kind of is the sounding board for things, but and this book is kind of confusing. I will say all of its like negatives right now. Eli is a negative. The fact that the book is told in a lot of different timelines and perspectives. We have several different, I think we have at least four, but I think we have 5 perspectives in this novel, and they're told it's not in linear fashion, so it does jump around, and so sometimes I would get confused. There'd be different timelines in one chapter for one perspective, and I would get confused. But that is all of the negatives, because this one, it captured me towards the middle, and as you can see from these little tabs, there were like the blues are sad sad moments. The pinks are like lines that just stuck out to me, that not necessarily were beautiful, but were just poignant. And I will say that if you didn't like The Glass Hotel by the same author, you will not like this. It is very much so like it, but in a scaled back version. It's not like Station 11. Its tone is more like The Glass Hotel, which I also loved. I loved The Glass Hotel, and it has lots of Emily St. John Mandel's beautiful writing, and beautiful but quirky, and quirky in a way that doesn't make me upset and think, oh, you're just doing this to do it. Lilia, the character, was flawed and she irked me, but I still felt for her, and the mystery of why she is the way she is and why her father took her, I guess it had been something along the lines of what it was, but reading it really hit me pretty hard. And I think, yeah, the sleeper character in this novel was definitely is a tie between the detective, the daughter of the detective, and the brother of Lilia. It's a 3-way tie. They were just so interesting. And if I could have another book just focused on Simon, Lilia's brother, I would take it. So, yeah, I think this book, it reminds me of my year of rest and relaxation and Normal People. It reminds me of those books. So if you like those, I think you'd probably like this. If you need a very plot-heavy, focused book, this is not the one for you. And yet the end hit me pretty hard. So I would say there's a trigger warning in there, but I think it's also a spoiler. So yeah, I finished this one and it was really good. 4 or 4.5 stars. I'll say 4.25 stars for this book. It did get me. So I think Emily Henry still can be called a favorite author of mine.